Hi, I'm Robert Craven of Launch Natural and Scale Passion. I'm here today to talk with Nick Van Nice of Results Driven Coaching. Nick is my personal life coach. I've learned so much from Nick. He's helped me to truly balance my mind, body, spirit, really bring the right level of energy to my job and my new venture. I thought I would share some of those nuggets with you that he's taught me over the past year by interviewing him here today. Give me an example of a CEO coach you've worked with before, where they started, kind of what their story was, where they grew to and how they did that. I want to get as tactical as possible, you see what I mean?
Okay.
Because I know a lot of CEOs, myself included at one point, that had no concept of how to get from point A to point B from the standpoint of, here's where I'm at right now and how I'm engaging in my own life, and here's where I want to go, and there are tactical steps that you take, and it's not a overnight thing, I'm sure. So can you give me an example of that person that you coached that was at point A that moved to point B, and the real tactical things they did to get there?
That's a great question. I've worked with a CEO in Chicago. He runs an IT training school, and with this person, they didn't have the classic leadership background. They were in love with the technology and in love with training people, and so it really, Robert, it was a process of awareness. First, of what great leadership, what is the essence of leadership? How do you really engage people in a way that grows them and that you have a shared vision? And so this particular person had to kind of hit their lid, if you will, their leadership lid, and it was about developing the leader within the person. So reading some classic books. I love the book Good to Great. That book was read. There's Winning by Jack Welch, greatest CEO ever. It's like an autobiography of Jack Welch. Awesome stuff. And so awareness, some basic training, some coaching conversations around what the great leadership looks like. And this person has moved from, I would say, level 2, level 3 leadership, which is just above command and control and adding some value, to really understand that it's all about attracting and retaining top talent and winning the talent war. And the coaching was a part of this evolution. The other thing is where the person ultimately needs to get is they have to have a strategic planning process that involves the team. It's you got to change the mind first and show up strong personally, and then you have to have the tools to take those principles and that level of engagement. You have to cascade it throughout the organization. So,
what about the personal stuff for that CEO? I think that the guys that I'm thinking of would say, business piece of this, I don't need any more energy there.
Right.
I think that if they sat down with you, their big concerns would be either connection spiritually or connection family-wise or physical.
I left that part out. This particular person has adopted my personal energy program, and every day now, their daily routine, the habits that they have every day to elevate their energy, it's permanently shifted. This particular gentleman is getting up at early in the morning. He's running, turning his body on. He's engaging in devotional reading, and he's really getting connected to his core values and his priorities. And shows up at the office at 9 o'clock, and he's ready to go. Mind, body, spirit is turned on, and that's been a real big part of this.
Any keys you would give for the family piece of this?
You got to date your family. In the courting process, we were great at dating our wives, our girlfriends, and we get married and we stop dating and we stop romancing. And the reality is relationships either add to your life, they're giving to you, or they're taking away. And if we think we can separate and compartmentalize the relationship we have with our wives from the success of our business, we're fooling ourselves. We're just fooling ourselves. And I would say date your wives, date your kids, spend one-on-one quality time. Kids spell love, with T-I-M-E. And it's quantity with kids. Our wives, on the other hand, I think it's quantity and quality time. We've got to be fully present. The same authenticity and presence we give our best client, we need to give our wife first and foremost. Arguably, she or he is our most important client.
Good. This whole concept of coaching, me being a new one, is getting a lot of play. There's a lot of conversation right now around life coaches, executive coaches, the word coach is like really overplayed right now.
Sure.
If you're a CEO, what are some of the things you should be looking for in a great coach? I think anybody who can hang a shingle, can say, hey, I'm a coach, you know what I mean?
Right.
What are some of the things that a good CEO might look for to make sure that they're connecting with the right kind of coach?
Coaching at its core is about asking and discovering who somebody is at the core and what they want. A good coach is going to ask great questions that are piercing in nature and that really get to the essence of who you are. When you're in the presence of a great coach, Robert, you know it because you are engaged. You are starting to express and starting to really paint on a canvas that a great coach gives to you. Okay. The other thing, formally, technically speaking, you want to find a coach that's a member of the International Coaching Federation. That's the international body that sets the ethics of coaching and sets the guidelines. And the other thing is you want a coach that has been certified at some level. And I'm a big fan of Coach U Inc., which is the pioneer of all the coaching schools. Thomas Leonard was the founder. They're the first, they're the biggest, and in my opinion, they're the best.
Cool. You had to give one piece of advice to CEOs out there. One piece of advice for them to take away and do something with, and kind of actionable piece of advice. What would the one thing you would really kind of pinpoint in on for those CEOs out there?
I would say that managing your personal energy is the highest leverage activity or activities that you have access to. Proactively.
And you recommended a book to me on that at one point. What was that book?
Dr. Bruce Snyder wrote a book called Energetic Leadership. And it's a wonderful book that explains the concept of the type of energy management that I'm talking about, which is really self-leadership and the ability to influence people to get dramatic results inside an organization.
Excellent. You've done a lot for me, man.
All right.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.